To say you gotta know somebody, or know somebody to get somewhere these days. To say you know that's alright, yeah that's alright, cause you know that's alright with me. Yeah, you know that's alright, yeah that's alright, cause you know that's alright.
Planning on everything that I'm buying today, I'm planning on keeping it till 2020. Now, if something goes wrong in the next couple of years and I need a few bucks and I have no choice, I go sell a house or I refi a house or I do whatever I can. And I thank the fact that I have these chips to cash in anytime I want. You know, it's great. You'll be glad that you got them. But if you can stick it out and make, I try to earn, I don't go around trying to earn big money. I earn just enough to survive. And that's the way I can reduce my tax base and grow my net worth as each year goes on. So, one of the things, let's talk about what Billy asked about. He talked about private money. I happen to take every subject in real estate and simplify it down to nothing, because I really think this is an easy business. It sounds complicated when you go to a meeting and you hear all these big words and all these big phrases, and you go, geez, I don't know what subject to mortgages are.
Okay.
You should do 90% of the other people in the real estate meetings.
That's what the
Private money, it's hard to get mortgages today when you're a real estate investor and you have multiple properties. Half of the time, you will find all the private money you need right in this little thing right here, your telephone. People want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So instead of going around trying to meet some stranger at a meeting and get them to lend you money, you need to be contacting the people who already know you. If you're an honorable individual, you're probably going to get people who are interested. There's a lot of people right now who have money who don't feel comfortable in the stock market, don't feel comfortable with the conditions in our political environment and in the world, and all the unstableness that we have. And a lot of people would like to invest in real estate, but they don't know what they're doing, they don't understand the business. And if you do, or if you educate yourself to learn it, then you're gonna find people lend you money. And the last thing I would say about it is, I know a lot of people have deals and they say, well, I can't get private money for this deal. Well, there's one reason for that, because it's not that good of a deal. You have to do more education and learn what a really good deal is. In our company's called Real Trust. So we call a deal that's good enough for us to buy, we call it a real deal. Okay? And you know, if you find a real deal, you won't have any trouble getting anyone to lend you money on it. Because if it's a deal that's going to make some decent money, people who don't know you will be glad to lend you money on it, let alone the ones who do. So, you got any comments on that?
Yeah, as far as private money goes, like Phil said, I mean, with the cell phone, private money is really relationship lending. You're borrowing money from somebody you have a relationship with first. I started out, my first private money deal was with family, and then I went to friends. And the message I say to friends and family is like, look, if I go out to the general public before I come to you, and I'm offering interest rates that are a lot higher than you can get in your bank CDs, then I'm doing my friends and family a disservice by not offering it to them first. Like, what are you doing paying these guys and you're not even paying us? So I actually have probably 4 or 5 different things out there with different family members and even friends of family now, because that's, you know, people that already know you, that have known you forever, that are going to be the ones you do business with, and the relationships that you make. So that's why networking is important too, because you don't walk into a meeting like this and all of a sudden you walk out and get private money that day. You need to build a relationship and have that. The other thing about private money is you have to just be careful not to cross the line. There's a line across where if you're generally soliciting for money, if you put something out there that says, well, if you have a website, if any of you have like a real estate, template website that just says, looking for private money, we pay, whatever, 7-8%. If you have something like that, it's a securities violation. So you have to know enough not to get yourself in trouble. So you can't make any general solicitation. Again, I can't give legal advice. So, consult a securities attorney for this. We met with a great guy who was the chief enforcement attorney for Pennsylvania Securities, who had retired from his securities, retired from the Pennsylvania Securities Commission and went into his private practice. He was the head bulldog for Pennsylvania Securities. I think that's a good guy to go to find out how to do it safely. So we went to him, and I took a bunch of people. I took my IRA custodian, Carl Fisher. Carl's has like a self-directed IRA company. Took him out there with me. A couple other guys I took with me, and we all just learned about what not to do. And you would be surprised at how many people are violating just by putting something. You put something up on a bulletin board. You put something up. Invest in real estate. Learn how. Come to this free meeting, and then you can figure out how to invest with us. And you tell them, hey, we'll give you good returns. That's you're violating securities. You can get cease and desist. You can get big time trouble. So the first thing is, how you don't get in trouble is you have a relationship with the person. If you have a relationship with the person, you know the person. You're asking them to borrow money. That's how you do private money. It's really important. It took a lot of people out of the game because they depended on institutional financing to do this business. I have never, ever, ever in my life went to go to a bank or any mortgage company to get a loan to buy a house. Never done it. Almost 9 years.
Think about that for a second. I mean, he's never gone and done a deal at bank. I mean,
up until 2010,
yeah.
I bought a house in Florida. But up until 2010, and this is going to change this year for sure. But I've never bought a house that was for sale. Never, ever, ever.
I mean,
I never bought a house that was for sale. I always said I'd like to buy your house, and they said, huh, really? We'd be interested in selling. I'd never approached people that had their house for sale because if you remember, the market was like this bidding war where people would buy a house and then some owner occupant would come by and they'd bid up the price. Well, now there's so much inventory in the market. Now you can buy houses for sale and you can find really good deals. So, you have a question there?
Yeah, Jeremy, what's your approach when you, I guess, pitch in for private money? How do you approach that person?
Yeah, it's typically people that I know, and they know. A lot of people ask me about it because they know what I'm doing. They say, "How's the business? How's the real estate business going?" Or how's the market? I mean, just questions like that.
What do you say? How do you get them interested?
Oh,
How do you get them involved?
Well, I mean, the first thing I say is, oh, it's great. All my competition's falling like flies because they depend on institutional financing. I never have. What do you mean you never have? You see, it just opens up to the question. You've never used banks? No, I use private people. When the people come in and deposit their money at the banks, you just pretend you're having a stroke or something, and you say, "Don't put your money here." No, don't do that. We'll give you better returns. Skip out the middleman, deal direct. It's because they deposit their money in the bank, and then the bank loans it to you. So what do I need the middleman for? Just go to the people. But how do you approach them? A lot of it is asking people that you respect, that do good business, what they invest in. People that you know, that you already do business with, maybe existing vendors, relationships you have with vendors, with clients, with whatever. People that I did a deal in my dentist chair. Actually, my first deal I ever did happened in my dentist chair, but I had this suction thing on my mouth. I don't know, that's for real estate? Yeah. That was my first. That was my first deal. So you always have to be. If you're passionate about what you do, people pick it up and they realize they're like, geez. Why do you like your life so much? Mine sucks. No, but seriously, you have to be passionate about what you're doing. You gotta like it. You gotta have confidence in yourself and confidence in your program. You have to have a plan. You have to stick to, come up with here's what we do, here's what we invest in, here's the area. You have some private investors that prefer different geographies over others. So you say, okay, well, I don't want to invest in anything Philly, but I want to invest in the suburbs. Other people say, I don't want to invest in major rehab jobs or whatever. You got to figure out. Just like real estate investors, private money investors also, have preferences for what they want, what they're comfortable with. I have one person that won't do second mortgages, but they're fine with the first mortgage. They'll say, look, I'll pay off the first mortgage I'll lend you more money just to pay off the first mortgage, so that I can be first. I don't want to be a small second. I'd rather be a big first.
Explain that again, Jeremy. What you just did.
Yeah. So we have a. I can go over this, I guess, a little bit, but we have a deal where we took over a mortgage, like $60,000 mortgage, this lady owed, and she wanted 20 grand or whatever for her equity in the house. Because when we talk, I never buy a house. I sell a check to the person, in other words. So they say, well, here's what I want for my house. No. Not what you want for a house. What do you want in your pocket? Because who cares?